Good morning, students. The topic of today's lecture is blocks to creativity. First, we will start with the definition of creativity, what creativity is. Creativity is basically the use of imagination or creative ideas to generate something, to produce something new, like inventiveness. It is a phenomena of using those new ideas to generate something that is unique. Now we will study some blocks or some hindrances which come in the way of creativity. The blocks is described as inappropriate perceptions and negative mindset. Students, we all know that our life revolves around our mindset, our perceptions towards something, someone, or some thoughts, and our negative mindset or positive mindset towards something, someone, or some thoughts create our life. And whenever we talk about creativity and its blocks, we will study various inappropriate perceptions and the nature of mindset of a person. First one is mindset, how we think, what our attitude is, what is the thought which is coming to our mind when we see something, when we feel something. Second is personal blocks to creativity. Personal perception of a person, personal mindset of a person towards a new thought, a change that comes under this point. Third is organizational blocks to creativity. The mindset or the nature of style of thinking of the organization, especially the managers and the top level officials, that consists of organizational blocks to creativity. There are some examples of mindset over here. Read the first one. We have always done it in this way. Why change? Many people give this excuse when something new is being introduced in their normal routine. They always ask this question, we have always done it this way, why change? So it is one example of blocks to creativity. Second is there can only be one way to do it properly. This is another excuse which people make when they don't want to try something new. Third is it's experience that counts, it's the only way to learn. So sometimes it is also a block which is being applied, that it experience only counts and no new method or nothing can be changed regarding it. Fourth is I learned to do it this way and it never let me down. So this is also another example that I have done it this way always and I have been successful, so I don't want to change it or learn something new. So this is also a major block in the way of creativity. Moving further, mindset blocks creativity. Mindset is a condition in which an individual becomes oversensitized to some part of the information available at the expense of other parts. It is such a condition or it is such a phenomena mindset in which people get stuck with one thing and they ignore many other things regarding that information. It is characterized by one right answer thinking, looking for reasons why something will not work, and misplaced emphasis on logical thinking. So, mindset is such a thing in which people perceive one type of thinking to be right, and about rest of the things they find reasons how they can ignore those things and how they can avoid logical thinking. Now we will study personal blocks to creativity. It limits an individual's creative output and are related to people themselves. So it is related to people, it is related to individuals' creative output. And coming under this first point is strategic, that is inflexible thinking. Sometimes people have this kind of nature in which they think one thought to be right and they get stuck with it, and they don't want to have a flexible thinking, they don't want to adjust with something new or something different. Second is value, rigid personal values. We as humans sometimes have this kind of condition in which we think one of our perception is always correct about something, and that becomes a rigid part of our life, and we are not able to digest something new. Third is perceptual, that is narrow focus. Our focus towards something becomes narrow when we become negative about it and when we don't want to think about something new. Fourth is self image, that is fear of failure. When people have low self image, they try to stick with the same methods, old methods, and they have a fear that if they will change their methods or use some other alternatives or use some new ways, they might get failed. They might have to face failure. In order to overcome that fear, they try to have a secure self image, then and they try to block new ideas. Now next is organizational blocks to creativity. First is emphasis on managerial control. It is comparing with autonomy and freedom. Managerial control implies that the managers feel or the top officials feel that if there would be a change or a new method or new alternative, new idea, then their control might get loosened up and that might lead to problems. Then next is short range thinking, measurable in the next quarter. When we don't think with a higher vision, a different vision, then this also becomes a block to creativity. Third is rigid hierarchical structures. This means that whenever an organization follows a set hierarchical structure which is being followed since long time and people are comfortable in it, then this is also a block to creativity because they don't tend to come out of their comfort zones. They don't want to try something new because in order to accept new ideas, in order to practice those ideas, you need to have some kind of changes in hierarchy. Then expected payoffs, large projects, then marketing over emphasis versus technology. So this is also a block to creativity because such things become unavoidable when there is a creativity or a new idea comes, then marketing over emphasis versus technology also becomes a reason that what should be done, where we should invest, how we should invest, what should be given more importance. Next point is pressure to achieve more with less R&D cuts. So this also becomes a block, a hindrance in the way of creativity. Then lack of creative understanding, approaches, trainings, some people are creative. So sometimes it is being felt that creativity is not an every individual's game. Let's accept it. And that is being proven in various kinds of approaches towards work or in training. People tend to follow things more rather than being creative. So in such a case, it is also a hindrance in the way of creativity or new ideas. Now students, we will study various reasons for creative blocks. Before you can break a creative block, you need to be consciously aware of why they happen. What is the reason behind these blocks? Here are some reasons. First is stress, that people are already under stress, they have mental tension, they have overloading in their mind, and they just want to follow the old procedure which they have been following since many years, and they have a comfort level in it, and they don't want to change that comfort level at the expense of anything. Second is health. When people are healthy, they are motivated, and they try to try new things, and they try to achieve new heights through new ideas. But when health is a problem in someone's way, then it is also a reason behind creativity blocks. Third is financial concerns. There are many cases at individual level and organizational level when financial constraints are there. And in such conditions also it becomes a block to creativity. So it is also a reason. Fourth is preoccupation with non-work related issues. This is also a reason why blocks arise to creativity, because already non-work related issues are so much into existence that work related issues do not get much importance. Next point is lack of knowledge of a topic or concern that you don't know enough. Yes, this is also a reason, because when people don't have knowledge about new thing, for example, if someone asks us to fly a jet plane, if we don't have a knowledge, we will find excuse to avoid that thing, because new idea or a new phenomena would be a uphill task for us. So that is why lack of knowledge of a topic is also a reason behind blocks to creativity. Then next is unclear on what you really want to say. This is also a reason why creativity gets blocked. Next is directionless, no plan for a specific piece of work. A person or an organization when do not have a particular direction to work in, to channelize their energy, then it becomes a major reason behind block to creativity, because no specific plan is there and they don't know in which direction to work. So they just try to avoid new ideas, and they try not to change themselves, and that becomes a hindrance in the way of creativity. So students, this was all with our lecture for today. We started with the creativity's definition, then we studied various blocks of creativity that included mindset, individual level, organizational level. We studied their subparts, and then we studied why creativity blocks happen, what are the reasons behind those creativity blocks, and understanding all these things, we come to a conclusion that in order to avoid these blocks, we have to overcome these reasons so as to grow at individual level and organizational level. This was all with the lecture today. If you have any doubt, you're most welcome to ask me. Thank you very much.